Hi, everybody. Today we are here with Andrew Duncan from Full Sail University, and I'm so excited because this is actually our first time having a rep from Full Sail chat with us. And I have lots of questions, but I'm going to let you go through your presentation first, Andrew, before I start peppering you with all the questions, because I'm sure you probably will be answering a lot of the things that are on my mind. So I'll let you take it away.
Thank you so much, Christina. Thank you very much for having us as well. What I'd like to do is actually start off with a quick video on our campus, if that's okay with you.
Yep, sure.
All right, let's roll. So we focus on entertainment, media, arts, and technology. And thank you so much, Christina, for this opportunity. For any of you that are able to watch this, thank you for tuning in. But we have a very creative community from all around the world. This month alone, I've been speaking with students in Brazil, in China, in the Ukraine, in New Zealand even, and of course, all throughout the US. And we actually happen to be located just outside of Orlando, Florida. So one of the top tourist destinations in the world. We're in an area called Winter Park. So to give you some reference points, I would say we're about 45 minutes away from Disney and Universal Studios, all the major attractions. On the East Coast, we got Cocoa Beach, about 50 minutes away, world renowned for surfing. On the West Coast, a couple of hours away, you have Clearwater Beach. You also have St. Pete's beaches, which are typically the beaches that win the best beach awards in the US. But more specifically, Full Sail is located on University Boulevard. So on one end, you have us. On the other end, you have the University of Central Florida, and then not too far away, you also have Rollins College. But what's nice about being on University Boulevard, it's a little bit of a college town. You have access to all of the amenities, the resources, the restaurants are very close by. And we work with I would say about 30 different apartment complexes within a 5-mile radius. So lots of different places to choose from. If you have a car, great. If not, no worries, because there are plenty of places that are very close to the campus. And we often see students biking to and from class or using those longboard electric skateboards that you see nowadays. And our housing department will actually assign a student family a housing coordinator to help them pick and choose and narrow down a place to live. But Full Sail overall focuses on 8 different areas of study. So all of our degree programs, they fall under these 8 different categories: music and recording, games, art and design, film and television, technology, media and communications, business, and sports. Most of it is all behind the scenes when it comes to entertainment, media, arts, and technology. But it makes for a very unique, creative learning environment because many of these degree programs that relate with one another. So I'll give you an example. Let's say, Christina, let's say you're a film student and you are working on a film project. Maybe you want a special scene where there's a car chase that's taking place on our back lot on our campus. Well, you're probably gonna want some really good sound effects, and you're probably gonna want some very good visual effects to go along with that. Well, then we encourage you to tap your friends for music and recording or for computer animation to assist you with working on that project, as long as you're willing to put their names in the credits. And then, of course, you're going to want to get that film project out into the industry. So whether that's a film festival like Sundance, maybe it's Netflix, maybe it's in theaters, well, then you can also lean on your friends from our entertainment business degree program to assist with that. So it makes for a unique environment because everyone's passionate about similar industries. So that's a little bit about our areas of study. This, at least how we approach real world education, Christina, it's very different from the norm. So when you're looking at Full Sail, you kind of have to start from scratch because it is so different. So I want to point out some of those differences, and then if you have any questions as we go along, let me know and I can share a little bit more insight. But the first thing to point out that's very unique is our bachelor degree programs on campus can actually be completed in as little as 20 months. Our online bachelor programs can be completed in as little as 29 months. Now, if you're looking for an online master's or a campus master's program, either way, 1 year. So we do have several students that have finished both a bachelor's and a master's degree in a little less than 3 years. And it's not that we have less credit hours. It's just that our campus programs, especially, they're accelerated. So you're going to classes and labs upwards of 40 hours a week. On top of that, we have a 24/7 schedule. So with our business type degrees, you could find yourself in a class or a lab anywhere between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. But more of our technical degrees, you may find yourself in a lab that starts at 1 o'clock in the morning. We did it intentional. We did it on purpose. If you think of the industries that our graduates serve, when does an artist typically want to go into a studio to record?
That's true.
You know, if maybe you want the perfect sunrise for a film scene, well, you're gonna have to set up really early in the morning. Or Christina, when was what was the last concert that you went to?
Oh my gosh, I'm old, but Katy Perry probably.
That's a good one. Did you enjoy it?
It was awesome. Yes.
So most of us, if you're anything like me, Christina, we go to the concert, we come home, we go to bed. There is an entire crew back at the venue that is still packing up, putting all of the gear back together and getting ready to hit the road to go to the next venue, the next city. So these are not your traditional 9 to 5 desk job hours. We don't want to teach it that way. We want to make sure our students get used to it. The other thing to point out too is we have monthly start dates. So you can begin studies at Full Sail any month you're ready. You don't have to wait till summer break, till the fall semester, the spring semester. We have a rolling start every month. Something very important to point out here is for our campus students that don't want to delay their start. They want to be able to begin their programs knowing that campuses are closed right now for COVID. Mm-hmm. We have something called a flex schedule, which means they actually have the opportunity to begin their program online from home and then transition to the campus once we open back up.
So do you have students who've just graduated already starting their programs?
High school students that have just graduated?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's interesting. When you speak with high school students, they will either start June, July, August, or September. We have some high school students that are so eager to get started, get going, that they will begin in June. But then we do have some high school students that want to spend a little bit of time over the summer, maybe get a part-time job, save up some money, and then transition in August, September timeframe. We have our career development department, which students are going to be assigned their own career development advisor. And they're the ones that help with resume preparation, cover letters, career research. But what's nice about career development is you have access to them as a graduate for the rest of your life. And then we also have lifetime course auditing. So if you're out in the industry and some kind of technology or software changes, graduates of Full Sail can come back, audit classes from their degree for free for the rest of their life, so they can always stay up to date with what's taking place in the industry.
That's amazing. I could imagine that's happening all the time with technology and advances and all that digital media stuff. So that's incredible.
Yeah, if you just think about how often you have to update your iOS on your phone, it happens quite a bit. And then for our bachelor degree programs, they have anywhere from 6 to 7 portfolio projects that they're responsible to complete. The idea being we want to make sure that every single degree, when a student graduates, they have something tangible to showcase to potential employers. So maybe it's a game that they've made, maybe it's all of their film projects or an album that they've recorded. Every single student, we want to make sure when they leave Full Sail, they can actually showcase to potential employers what they're capable of doing rather than just tell them. So they will be working on quite a few demo reels that they'll be putting together. The other thing that's pretty important too is, especially for our students that are studying online, we've been offering some type of an online course since 2008. So we have over a decade of experience when it comes to digital learning. Mm-hmm. There was a couple of things that we wanted to make sure we had in place. One being, we actually built our own learning management system, our own LMS platform, just to make sure instructors can easily interact and engage with the students, and that the students can easily collaborate with other students in their class. And then the other thing that we did is we implemented what we call Full Sail University's Project Launchbox, which is pretty simple. Every single degree, every single student will receive a brand new laptop with all of the software that they need and all of the gear that they need that is specific to their degrees. So it's kind of like their own little mobile studio. All of their work is on there. It's theirs to keep when they graduate. This is how they get through the program. Majority of programs, it's going to be a MacBook Pro, but there are some degrees that involve a lot of programming, like game development, computer science. So because programming is predominantly PC-based, those students will typically be receiving an MSI laptop as part of their Launchbox package. So all of their work goes on there. It's theirs to keep. And with a lot of our students studying online right now, we've been hosting quite a few virtual guests. You may recognize Ken Jeong. He's been part of quite a few different movies and TV series. We also had recently ESPN Sports Center anchor Sage Steele. They've been hosting some Q&A sessions for our online students. We have quite a few graduates out in the industry doing some amazing work, like DJ Swivel, who recorded with Chainsmokers, BTS out of South Korea, and Jay-Z. He's been doing some live mixed critique sessions for our online students. Borderlands 3 actually had 11 Full Sail graduates help make that video game, and 6 of them have been hosting kind of a virtual behind-the-scenes look as to what went into making the game Borderlands 3. Then not too long ago, we hosted our Full Sail charity Rocket League tournament, where all proceeds went to Feeding America. So it was a pretty cool opportunity for people to compete for a good cause. And then we also make sure that all of our online students have the same opportunities as their campus students to be able to network. Always recommend for our online students to become a part of what we call the social scene, so that they can stay connected and start networking with students from different degree programs. So any questions so far, Christina, from what we've covered?
You know, you sold me with Ken Jeong, you know. No, this is incredible. And some of the technical stuff, my head was tilting. You couldn't see me probably, but my head's tilting because I don't know what any of that technology is. But it sounds like for a student, especially like the game design, having a full panel of graduates who created your favorite game, you know, I could just see them, you know, fangirling and fanboying over those things. So no, that's awesome. I love it. I love tangible things like that, where you can show, you know, people actually, not just, it's great to learn from people in the industry, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, hearing directly from people what their experiences have been like, what were the steps that they had to go through to get to where they are. Mm-hmm. Also for online, they have access to all the same student services as our campus students, but life as a Full Sail student is very unique. We have definitely a creative community of students. Typically courses will start on a Monday, and the Monday prior is usually when you have registration and orientation. It's also when you learn all about our student clubs that are created by students. So if you're a high school student or a graduate of high school and you're active, you'd like to get involved, one of the best things to do is to begin your own club. And we have some pretty unique ones like the Airsoft Club. We have Collegiate DECA, which we've been doing quite a few competitions in regards to that. We do have quite a few international students that host a variety of different events like open mic nights and a lot of holiday parties that they host. And then we also have the Military Veteran Student Union for any of our students that have actively served, are actively serving, or have served in the military. They host about 3 to 4 events per year too. So, but what I'm most excited to share with you, Christina, is last May, we opened up the largest collegiate esports arena in the entire country. It's called the Fortress. And we've already been hosting quite a few major league gaming tournaments here, including NBA 2K. And students have the opportunity to try out to be a part of our collegiate esports team, Armada. Now, the games, they change often, but as of right now, they're competing against other universities in Super Smash Brothers, Call of Duty, CSGO, Smite, League of Legends, Hearthstone, and I'm sure I'm going to miss a few, but you can find out more at fullsail.armada.com. And yeah, students are getting the opportunity to try out, but what's cool about these events is these are live events. So not only are we participating on the competitive side, but then it's our show production students that are actually hosting and putting on the lighting, getting all the gear ready, setting up everything, setting up the whole venue. It's our digital arts and design students that are creating the look and feel, the design of these events. And then we have our Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting students that are learning how to do the commentary for these events as well. So yes, we're getting a chance to compete, but it's also all hands on deck from different degree programs where they're getting real world experience on how to actually host these events as well.
And so when would they be trying out for these? It's something that just any enrolled student can have the opportunity to do that?
Correct. Any student that is actively attending Full Sail University has the opportunity to try out. And every so often, I would say maybe once a quarter, you'll see signs all over the campus, and all students have their own, as I was saying earlier, it's their own internal intranet that they can log into, and we will post all of the tryouts on there. And it doesn't matter what degree you're a part of, everyone has the opportunity to be able to try out to be a part of Full Sail Armada.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we also look forward to all year long a very special week on our campus. It's called Hall of Fame. It's kind of our version of homecoming, I would say. Mm-hmm. A lot of industry employers come in and they do career development sessions. Our graduates will come and visit and host Q&A panel discussions. We have concerts all around our campus. But I wanted to give you an opportunity to watch a quick video to see how our most recent Hall of Fame experience went.
Okay.
Hall of Fame, a time for professional reflection, growth, networking, making connections, and honoring our accomplished graduates. But above all, this is a time for students to learn, absorb, and focus on their career goals. We spoke to a few students attending the 11th Annual Hall of Fame to understand this event through their eyes and see just what it's like to experience this week as a student.
There are so many people here. It's a concentrated pool of alumni, and I mean like Hall of Fame alumni. I think if you want to be able to get into your careers and your passion, you should be here.
As a student, it just guides me in the right direction, makes me realize that I'm doing the right things, taking the right steps in the right directions to be successful in my career.
I always learn a lot from the panels, and it always, immediately after I want to go home and start working on my projects, and even then I always make a lot of friends because it's Full Sail. Everybody's nice.
What I'm hoping to take away from this week is just building new relationships with people in other degree programs, getting to know them so that further down the line when I go to make my own projects, I'll have those connections.
The Amish pretzel truck was the best. The networking is also up there. I mean, I don't know which one's better, pretzels or networking, but I think it might be networking.
Honestly, it's a great experience getting to meet new people and especially getting out there in the real world.
The creative experience. That's like the best part. You really get to have fun, just kick back and relax.
I am most looking forward to the cosplay contest. I've already seen a lot of cool costumes and a lot of my friends are participating.
Sunday was Worlds Collide, and I had the pleasure of hosting. Just got to talk, got to play some games with a lot of very cool people, with a lot of very cool students. It's just a good time. Overall, I just really like the sense of community that is around the Hall of Fame, and how everyone is just chilling about Full Sail campus and just having a really good time.
So the week ends with our Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Every year we induct 6 of our graduates into the Hall of Fame at Full Sail that have been out in the industry, done some amazing work, have been there in the industry for at least 10 years, but most importantly, they continue to come back and give back to our current student body. So it's a pretty cool celebration for us that week every year. So
That's awesome.
And then we have career development. So career development, even post-graduation, as I mentioned, you'll be assigned your own advisors, and they're the ones that continue to assist you with career research, resume fundamentals, job interview training, networking. And we also host alumni events throughout the US and around the world, where we invite industry employers to come to those career networking events to get a chance to meet with our graduates. And it's kind of an on-the-spot interview type thing where they get an opportunity to speak directly with the employers. And we've had some graduates go on to do some incredible things with a variety of different companies and artists, Universal, Star Wars, CNN, Titanfall, Beyonce, ESPN, quite a few different companies and artists that our graduates are currently working with or have worked for. If you watched any of the awards ceremonies in the spring, over 140 Full Sail graduates were credited on 24 Oscar-nominated projects, 50 at the Grammy, over 200 at the Video Game Awards. And it's not just music, video games, and TV shows. We have over 100 Full Sail graduates that are working specifically in design and technology-related fields at Amazon, Apple, over 150, over 25 at both Facebook and Google, and over 10 at Netflix. So we do also have some incredibly advanced technology-related degree programs that have helped launch the careers of quite a few of our graduates. So that's a little bit of an overview on Full Sail. Great way to stay up to date with what our grads are doing, what our students are doing, what Full Sail is up to, is to just stay connected with us via social media across any of our different channels. And then I definitely wanted to leave some time at the very end, Christina, to answer any questions that you may have. And we do have a few resources that we can also share with students that I wanted to share with you as well.
Okay. Why don't you tell us a little bit, Andrew, about the process of applying to Full Sail? What would a student have to submit? What's the timing of that? What's ideal?
So because we have monthly start dates, timing, it really depends on when the student is ready. First step for us, we're not the type of university that you apply and then you wait to see if you were accepted. Right. We actually like to begin what we call an admissions interview. So that's what I would recommend to everyone. If someone is considering attending Full Sail, reach out to us. The number is 1-800-226-7625. You can find it on our website, and request to complete an admissions interview. It takes anywhere from about 45 minutes to an hour. You want to have, if you have anyone that's helping you through the college admission steps, I would have maybe a family member be a part of it as well. And it's our opportunity to spend with you to just determine if Full Sail is a good fit overall. As I shared earlier, we are pretty unique with our approach. And the last thing we would want is for students to start school and then realize, oh my goodness, I have 40 hours a week of classes and my courses are only a month long. And we would want to make sure that it's a good fit for the student before they begin their journey at Full Sail. So step one is to complete an admissions interview. And then based on the degree program, there may be additional steps. An instance would be some of our degree programs that involve a lot of programming. You'll want to be comfortable with math. So we have a math test for some of those degree programs. It's kind of an entrance exam just to see that their level of math is up to where it needs to be successful in that program. So, but overall, an admissions interview would be the first step.
Got it. In terms of the right fit for Full Sail, do you have a lot of non-traditional age students? Is it because when I think of Full Sail, I think of students who have to be a little bit more independent. They need to be a little bit more self-directed. And in my mind, that's always a little bit of a more mature or older students. Is that true? Or do you think that students coming directly from high school, do they adapt well to that type of, whether they're on campus or virtual? I guess there's a little bit of a difference there in terms of because of the housing situation and all of that. But what do you think?
I think it depends. It's a great question. So typically you'll have a little bit more of a mature student body that are starting school, I would say around late fall, early spring. A lot of the high school students are going to be, as I said earlier, starting around June through August, September timeframe. But it depends on the student. You know, we often have students that maybe they did okay in high school, but then when they come to Full Sail, they excel. It's as if it's finally catering towards their style of learning, hands-on, project-based learning. They're finally working on topics and things that they're passionate about, that they enjoy. You know, you will have some of your basic gen ed type classes, but a lot of times they're also tailored towards the industry as well. And they dive into degree-specific courses oftentimes, depending on the degree, already by the second month. So you're not waiting to dive into what you're passionate about. You know, it depends on the student. If I would say we're not the type of school where you come to essentially discover what it is that you enjoy. On the flip side of that, though, you don't have to know specifically what it is that you would like to do. An example would be, let's say you want to work on movies. Well, we often have students that say, I want to be a director. The majority of them will say, I want to be a director, right? But what we do is we expose them to pretty much all the different roles in the filmmaking process in the TV industry, right? So maybe halfway through they say, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize how amazing cinematography was, or wow, I love creative writing for entertainment. I want to go down the writing path. So we expose them to all of the different avenues so they can discover what avenues and what aspects of the industries they enjoy the most. You know, to your point, to your question as well, Christina, I've come across many students that say, you know, I want to work on video games. And, you know, one of the first questions is, why? Why do you want to work on video games? And I remember one of our Full Sail instructors once said to me, just because I love to eat does not mean I should be a chef. So it's the same idea. And that's why the interview is so important, because it's one thing to play video games. It's totally different to work on them. So it's what avenue is it? The creative side, are you going to be creating the characters? Are you going to be drawing? Are you going to make the look and feel of the game? Or do you love numbers? Do you love math? Do you love programming, where you can be programming and doing the behind the scenes for the game? So we need to spend some time kind of unpacking that and see the level of seriousness when it comes to pursuing these industries. So I think it comes down to the student. Some of them, you know, it's almost like they found their home, their community. So.
What percentage of students are doing their courses on site versus virtually? Pre-COVID, I should say.
We have upwards of 17,000 students. And I believe the last I had seen from January timeframe, this is maybe 2017, I would say upwards around 6,000 to 7,000 are online, and then the rest were on campus.
Okay. This is so interesting. It's so interesting to me, just because it is such a unique set of programs. I mean, I was glad to hear you say that about young adults being able to explore their options, because I think there's a feeling sometimes when you look at a school like Full Sail, that thinking that a student really does have to fully know exactly what they want to do there and not have the opportunity to explore some of those other areas. But, you know, your analogy at the beginning of setting up the scene and needing to engage people from all of these different talent areas, and actually learning how those different talent areas combine to create the perfect scene, you know, or whatever that is. I think that's really important to understand how things operate, you know, what all the different pieces are to make the things move. And so I love that kids can explore in that way.
Yeah, to that point, Christina, one of the things I wanted to share with you is we opened up, it's an Apple Distinguished Educator School on our campus called Full Sail Labs. We opened this up 2015 because we kept on receiving requests in regards to summer camps. So we actually host our summer camps through Full Sail Labs,
Oh.
which just ended last week. We did this year we did virtual summer camps, which went really, really well. But it's a great way for students to discover if these are the industries and fields that they're passionate about, or if it is, for them to hone their skill sets leading up to college. And just for your awareness, at fullsaillabs.com, every day of the week, we host free, live, instructor-led virtual workshops that are centered around 3D modeling, storytelling, digital media, a variety of different free workshops every day at 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then we also have self-paced online courses as well. So if students are considering the entertainment, media, arts, and tech fields, and they want to just kind of dabble it in a little bit, see if it's something that they're interested in, highly recommend checking out some of those programs at the fullsaillabs.com.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Definitely something we can also share with our underclassmen who are maybe not yet ready, to move ahead, but this would be, they could get some exposure to it. Well, this is all great information, Andrew. I really appreciate you taking the time to share more with us. So if students are interested in getting in touch, they just reach out to schedule that interview and some of those kinds of things. I assume you're doing kind of virtual information sessions and all of that now during this time.
Yeah, one of the best ways to get more information, including our scholarships, you can find that on our website, and highly recommend speaking with an admissions representative to learn more. But what I would suggest is actually go to the website that I have on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone visits this site, bit.ly/FS Virtual Fair, they'll be able to request information on there, and we'll make sure that a member of admissions reaches out. Some of the resources too, we're doing virtual, every day we do a virtual tour 3 times a day, Monday through Friday. So you actually get a chance to spend some time with a live facilitator, 2 of them. And one of the facilitators will also be checking out some of the studios and showcasing them. And then every other Sunday, we have what we call our behind the scenes event. So that's another great way to learn more about the school. You can find the dates for our behind the scenes events on our website as well. And we also have our graduates, our alumni, join in for those sessions too. So if you want to speak with some of our grads that are currently working with Pixar or recording Ariana Grande, they will be part of those behind the scenes events. So you get a chance to do a Q&A session with them as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, thank you, Andrew, for all of this great information and for all these different avenues actually to explore Full Sail in a lot of different ways. I really appreciate it. And I think, again, especially given current times, I think there's a lot of appeal to the ability to do some online programs. And then, with the option of if things, once we're back to normal times, moving to be able to do things in person, I think that the flexibility there and the month to month, I think, is something that's really distinct, obviously, about your program, in that students can start earlier if they want, when they're done with school, if they're ready to jump in, they can start and get going on things. And I think that that's really attractive. But I appreciate you taking the time to share all of this with everyone today. And if anybody has questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the folks at Full Sail and explore the opportunities that they have there. And we will share more information on our sites too. Thanks.
Thank you, Christina. Appreciate your time.